Good evening. My name is Vita Sadananda, and today is the 25th of March 2026, and the time is 6:49 p.m. The area of body we will be maintaining health of by the Nirbeeja Yoga method style is it's a movementless method of yoga, and it's called arm calves. Now we have calves in our legs, which is about the fleshy portion, the back of our legs. Yeah, about the lower legs. Now, if we were animals, the forearms would be the and the palms would be the region like the feet would be touching the ground. So I didn't quite know how to call this part of our hand, which is generally just called the forearm. You could say the fleshy part, and then you could say the area before that. Or I could just say, just like the legs, you have the arm calves rather than the leg calves. And you have the Achilles of your hands, arms. Like some people get carpal tunnel syndrome when the Achilles tendon, the carpal tunnel, the tendons about there are not functioning as well. And your wrist would be the ankles of your feet. Yeah. And your palms would be, well, so to speak, like the soles of your feet. Comparatively, because also I think the hands are just as important to be taken care of, like your legs, and vice versa. Yeah. So arm calves makes it more easier for me to remember. When I named this, I named our different parts of the body, or segregated our body parts into 41, including the limbs. Yeah. Over and above the basic unit, which is the head, neck, shoulders, the rib cage, spine, and the pelvis, which is basically an alive unit. This is also the main frame, and then we have plus or minus limbs. So the main frame and the limbs. And when you just say limbs, we have one word to talk about the arms and the legs. Yeah. So I thought it just becomes easier to name the limbs like you would name the legs, name the arms like you would name the legs. Now, having said that, arm calves in the evening versus in the morning, when the sun was just rising up, when people were just beginning their daily activities, would feel differently than now when the sun is in different stages of setting, at least in my part of the geography. People are just getting resting, so to speak, from the daily activities, not mothers, not homemakers, not people who have to still maintain the kitchen, uh, cook, or dinner, or homework. Kids, for example, still have their homeworks, and well, relatively, the day is kind of different in the evening than in the morning. Yeah. So physiologically, you're feeling differently, and your arm calves, that is the region um, immediately after your elbow, your forearms immediately after your elbows, would feel differently, especially if you've been doing a lot of work. And Nirbeeja Yoga is a way by which you can rest your arm calves. And you could also um, pay attention to the health of it if you've never taken care of it. So your arms are available, your arm calves are maintaining, well, calves of your legs are said to be like another heart, which then returns blood to your heart from your feet. And then they would have to pump, your blood vessels would need to pump against gravity in your feet to get the blood back into your heart. But your arms are slightly different in the sense they are well dangling at the sides of your um, body, yeah, and not really bearing the weight of your entire body. So in humans, the forearms, the arms are different from the legs, where animals would bear the entire weight on their limbs. Yeah. but we do things with our hands. And that relationship with our hands as, parts of the body by which we can do things has a different experience of the body, um, and so needs regular maintenance. Especially, for example, I'll give you an example. Try and pay attention to your little fingers. Your little fingers versus your thumb. And pay attention to the entire length of your arms from the side of your little fingers. The entire length of your arm from your little finger to your shoulders. The stretch of muscles, it might be sometimes painful if you've never paid attention to this part of your body. And we're only talking in terms of the little finger all the way through the sides of your arms to your shoulders. And that covers many joints, many directions of your muscles. And that may be a certain tension which your little fingers feel at the tip of your fingers. The tension at the tip of your fingers versus at the base of your fingers would be different. And then notice, for example, in terms of your thumbs, the side of your arms that extends from the tip of your thumbs all the way to your shoulders. Wherever that area is. And that would be a little towards the inner surface of your body, the inner side. And notice a stretch in your thumb, for example, at the tip of your thumbs, from just noticing the length of that entire side. And then now bring your attention only to your arm calves. Yeah? And notice the tension between your elbows and your arm calves. The upper portion of your arm and the lower portion of your arm around the elbows. The tension at the arm calves versus the portion just above your elbows. The tension in the muscles would be different. Notice any sense of stretch between your elbows and your palms. Notice how does the temperature of your body feel between your elbows and your palms. Is the temperature the same, whether the skin or the muscles or the space inside your arms, inside the forearms? Does it all feel the same or is it any different? And then notice how does your arms, your arm calves, does that feel rubbery? Does it feel soft and stretchy? Or does it feel tense? How's the texture of muscles? Just above the region of your elbows, above your elbows and below your elbows. How is the texture of muscles? And then notice the sides of your elbows. How does the muscles and their attachment about your elbows feel in the sides? And then pay attention to any sense of muscle, no, any sense of bone in your arm calves. Can you feel the bone inside your arms? Or rather, inside the front portion of your forearms? Can you feel any sense of bone without rotating your wrist, without moving your palms? Can you get any sense of bone inside your forearms? It would be easier for you to pay attention to them if you notice in terms of warmth, softness, yeah, just in terms of warmth and softness. and any sense of fluid, because there's blood inside moving through your alive arms. So pay attention to warmth, softness, and any sense of fluid, moisture, and you're more likely to notice your arms slightly differently. You might sweat, but that's also part of the fluid that you would notice. And then notice, do you tend to keep your arms on the armrest, or are you comfortable just letting them dangling in the sides? Because when you're aware of your arm calves, in terms of warmth, softness, and moisture, chances are sometimes you are more aware of the weight of your arm calves differently than if you weren't paying attention in terms of warmth, softness, and moisture. Because the tension in your muscles are more likely to show up. And it could sometimes be painful. If you've never taken care of your arm calves, if you've never paid attention to warmth and softness and moisture, tension that is already there in your arm calves would then show up, because it may be a long time since when you've paid attention to them in a manner that is gentle, kind, and mindful. Yeah. Continue to notice any sense of stretchiness. No, just notice the length of your forearms. Notice any sense of skin. Can you feel your skin of your forearms? And notice your forearms in terms of weight. Just the weight. The whole day's work, or sometimes your lifetime of work that your forearms may have gone through, could sometimes come to your attention. Now, I facilitate health clinically. So my work involves, it's a touch-based work, on-table therapy work. It involves a gentle touch. But so that involves caring for others and touch-based. So my arms are also my instruments by which I facilitate health. But I need to take care of my own hands, by which it's a touch-based, very gentle touch. But for my hands to be my hands, I need to take care of them. Otherwise, the tissue memory of my hands is that of having made contact with somebody else. So even though you're mindful, even though you may be just going about your own activities, writing your homework, or cooking, or taking care of people, or doing your own activities, you still need to brush your teeth. You still need to take care of your hands. You still need to make sure the muscles are relaxed, because like your heart, they may be functioning all the time. And when you don't pay attention to them, you don't realize how much of tension there may be, and then how much you would need to actually take care of them so your system continues to function well enough. So your arms help you even brush your teeth. But when you don't take care of just this part of your body, I'm calling it as arm calves, your ability to lift things, your ability to do things may not be as well as you'd like it to. Some people even have contractures where their palms go like that, a little bit contracted. That's because the muscles or the tendons, the ligaments, they continue to be contracted or, doing work, never really relaxed. There are many other details, causes for it. But one of the causes is that the arms have never been taken care of, or not in this way where some work is expected out of them. Taking care of your arms in a way that is other than expecting work to be done. Yeah. But taking care of them for the sake of them. Some people go to salons, pedicure, manicure and pedicure, where somebody else is taking care of their um, palms, arms, massage, for example. But that's different from you taking care of yourself. Somebody else taking care of your arms and, working on your body so you're maintaining health versus you taking care of yourself. Vastly different experience. Try paying attention to your forearms in terms of not touch. You're not touching the skin of your forearms. You are paying attention to the skin of your forearms without your other arm touching your own forearm too. Nobody touching, but you're noticing how is your forearms? How is your arm calves? I need to mention this because different parts of your own arms do different sets of activities. If that part of the body wasn't there, yeah, something important wouldn't be possible. Yeah. And evolution has taken a long time to form the human body in this particular shape and with the structures and with these different parts. So what I'm doing is just, forearms in 4 parts, arm calves, and then we have the region between the between the wrist and the arm calves. I call it the Achilles, arm Achilles, yeah. And then you have the wrist, and then you have the hands. So we can spend enough time taking care of each of these parts. And an entire day, like for one part, yeah? Because there are so many details and abilities in our body, in our life, because that part of the body is there. You can at least give one day for it, yeah? And over time, our body gets taken care of. We will be protecting what life has taken a long time to form that human body shape and size and alive in your shape and size. Yeah. Or in mine. So, and mine is uniquely different from yours because, you are in your geography, I'm in my geography, which is why we are not standing, we're not, superimposed on each other's feet. I am my own feet on my latitude, longitude on Earth, and you, your space. And I'm taking care of the house, the the vehicle, the office, my first room, home, from where to have an experience of being alive. Ghosts cannot talk about it. Yeah, because they would like to have a body that's human. They had a body that's human. They have to qualify to have a body that's human. You already have a body that's human. Yeah. Fine little details. So, um, if this has your arm calves, at least you can feel into your arm calves a little better, then I'm calling it arm calves so that you can, maybe your leg calves, yeah, would also in some way have a little comparative appreciation because your arms are doing different things than your legs, yeah. So both gets taken care of also in some sense. But you won't think one is more important than the other. And they have their own unique place in the whole scheme of things, which is your body as an organization, as an organism. How you maintain your life is also an ism. Yeah. Um, a way of maintaining things, a way of arranging your life. You're the organism, the one who organizes. Yeah. Or the process of organizing. Yeah. Your way of doing things. And you're an organization formed over several cycles of evolution. You should check your family trees and the genetics, the genes that made you versus anybody else. Oh, that's taken a long time for you to be here alive after 2 years of the pandemic also. So you're also informed by the microbes um, that had us have another experience. It's a different kind of a vaccination. Yeah, nature. You don't tell that we have a lot more microbes. The thing is, we already have a list of microbes: bacteria, fungi, algae, and then virus. And we met one of the viruses during the 2 years of the pandemic. So we have many of them, and not. And then we also have gut microbiomes inside a body. So healthy, unhealthy, when you are aware of your insides versus outsides, you know what is most suitable for your body. So one of the things by which you can notice how is your left hand, left arm versus right arm is by paying attention to your arm calves. Because that's one more part of the body that requires to be maintained a particular manner. And there are microbes there, depending on how you've been paying attention to them. Yeah, health of your skin, health of that part of your body. And so I hope this live has been of value to you. Live, L-I-V, live has been of value to you. Also L-I-F-E, but try writing it out. So then you can be more present to what's the value that's been there. And then you can upgrade it, make it better. Appreciate the fine details that's has become your life. You can upgrade it, make it better. Yeah. So not many have this opportunity of, well, being alive, having a body that's human, being able to listen to Nirbeeja Yoga live happening out of all the many people who may be watching the internet in their own times. You get to listen to all of this. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me. Today became a short live. Yeah. 15 minutes or so plus. But I thought, um, something to get us started a little more on this part of the body. And the day is still young. It's not yet the next day. And we have the opportunity of taking care of our arm calves in our own ways, in our own ways. So enjoy the exploration or the appreciation of having arm calves. Yeah. Oh, so much becomes possible. Yeah. There are people who have until their elbows and don't have arm calves to appreciate. You do. Yeah. So count the blessings and then make good use of having arm calves and then what you can do with it. Yeah. So sometimes you need to be aware of other than that to be appreciative of what we already have. So sometimes I just brought something to attention here. Um, and we're all uniquely placed now in our own scheme of things. So take care of details and make sure you continue to do things such that you're one piece, yeah, and functioning. There are soldiers too. Let's just maintain our health, yeah. So do your drawings and do your writing and your different activities that Armcalves make available. Yeah, makes it possible doing. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been of value to you. Good day. We'll do better next time. Yeah.